Hello and welcome to Speed Feed. This is where we talk about the latest in news and trending topics. If you want to know everything that's getting people talking today, then you, my friend, are at the right place. You can follow the stories that we're talking about here to see everything that we're talking about today. It's a big news day. So much is happening around you, and we just want to, go through all of the things that are happening here, some of the important stories that you need to know, and other trending topics that we should definitely talk about. Like today, let's talk about the release of KCSE results, which might be delayed because teachers who were marking the exams at Moi Girls, they halted the process and took to the streets to protest against the government for unpaid allowances. Here you can see them. They were out and about protesting against the government for failing to pay them. And KUPPET had asked the government to release funds for the teachers' allowances and also to help, maintain or help them attain social distancing in the marking centers. But this was not done, and hence this strike. And remember, Education CS Judge Magoha had promised that the exam results will be released on May 10th, and this is something that will come in the way of that unless it's solved very quickly. Now, let's talk about Emarambamba because he's live right now on with Jalango, but this is why he's trending today. It's he's unusual stuff. So this is his latest video, and you can see that this is a moment that has gotten a lot of people talking, whether he's putting himself in danger. We don't know if this was choreographed or he was actually accidental, but see there, he almost got ran over by a motorbike, and it's gotten a lot of people talking and asking, is he putting himself in danger? Remember when Ezekiel Mutua warned that he could hurt himself in the process? Maybe this is why. Yeah, go listen to his full story. He's live right now with Jalango, and that's why people are talking about him today. He released a song yesterday, and that song has 63,000 views. Now, meanwhile, KRA has warned Kenyans who do not file their taxes, those of you who do not file your returns, that you risk losing your KRA PIN. Now, I've even listed a list of over 60,000 KRA PINs, that are said to be deregistered. And if you lose your KRA PIN, guys, you will not be able to register a bank account or even apply for a formal job successfully because you need that KRA PIN. So if you haven't been updating your profile, you need to do so. All right. Now, other things that are happening, this is important. The Kenya Deposit Insurance Corporation, which is headed by this man you see here, the man in the blue suit. His name is Mahmoud. So that agency is going after Kenyans who had loans with banks such as Chase Bank, Imperial Bank, and Dubai Bank, which collapsed. And those people who had loans but are not paying. So the Deposit Insurance Corporation has said that it will hire a management company that will follow up with defaulters and institute legal action because they want to raise 45 billion from that. Yeah, for those who have not been paying back their loans. Now, let's talk about the drama between LSK Chair Nelson Havi and the nominated Chief Justice Martha Koome. So Nelson Havi had written to the JSC accusing nominated Chief Justice Martha Koome of nepotism and making judgments that favor the executive. Basically, he was saying that she hasn't been, she had made judgments that appeared to favor one side. And Justice Koome responded to Havi through a demand letter and asked him to retract those accusations or he would face a defamation suit. Now, Nelson Havi responded yesterday and he said he will not retract his memoranda to the JSC or even apologize for raising these accusations in the first place. What is going to happen next between the two? We can only wait and see. But well, Justice Martha Koome is said to be vetted by Parliament's Justice and Legal Affairs Committee. Yeah, so that's an important news item there. Will that accusation from Nelson Havi affect the vetting process? We're just going to have to wait and see. Let's talk about probably the biggest story in the news around the world today. The world's fourth richest man, Bill Gates, and his wife Melinda French Gates. They have called it quits in their marriage after being married for 27 years. And the two posted similar statements on Twitter. They didn't post it on their Facebook. Then that's where they announced their divorce. And they just dropped this bombshell and left off. In fact, Comments on the tweet. This tweet, both tweets from Bill Gates' Twitter and Melinda Gates' Twitter. Comments are turned off. So they just dropped the bombshell and left everyone to keep their opinions about their marriage to themselves. And here's an interesting fact about the two. Now that we're talking about their marriage ending. So when they got married in 1994 at their wedding, they did their wedding in an island in Hawaii. So this is what they did. They hired all the helicopters in that area to avoid anyone from flying over their wedding venue. Yeah, an interesting fact about the day they got married. Yeah, but it's making news around the world. How do you feel about that? I don't know how to feel about that, you know? Billionaires splitting. Let's talk in the comment section, guys. Today, I just want to hear your views. Let's talk. Let's keep talking, guys, because this particular story has, you know, it's shocking because nobody expected it. And I'm trying to find your comments here on Facebook because we're live. Yeah, don't worry. I'm going to read your comments in just a few. You know, just keep them coming as we talk about the stories that you need to know today. Let's talk about something else. Speaking of billionaires who are fighting. So Nairobi billionaire Francis Mburu, you know this guy. You might remember him from the famous Soraka land case in 2018 where he was arrested by the ESCC. So he was involved in another land dispute between his real estate company and Kenya Posta and another company that is linked to Mombasa Governor Ali Hassan Joho. And the land in question is where Posta Ground is on Ngong Road, and there were legal issues concerning the ownership of that land, and he lost the case and subsequently claimed on the land. So the land is worth about 10 billion shillings, and he's lost it. So he's a real estate tycoon, but now he's lost this one. Now, let's talk about our resident meme lord and philanthropist, Mike Sunko. In fact, I think we always talk about Mike Sunko every day. You know, I think we should have an exclusive segment of what he did. So don't worry, I'm just going to tell you what he did right now. Those videos that Felix is rolling for you right now. So if you wonder what's happening there. So he donated thousands of sanitary pads to help girls in Kwale County. He did this because of a story that was done by Citizen showing how girls in a place called Kinango, so they use papers and rags as substitute for pads. And he donated thousands of pads to those children and those girls in Kwale County. And the video you can see there, he posted it of that consignment being received in Kwale. Which is a good move, by the way. He's still a philanthropist, even after leaving office. He's still doing good deeds, as he calls himself the good deeds ambassador. Now, meanwhile, let's talk about where he left the NMS, because this is one of the things that actually eventually led up to him getting out of office. So the NMS has given an update on, how Green Park Terminus is going to be run, and they say that they are talking to various people who will be involved in the running of Green Park Terminus. So the facility, this one here, you can see it being opened by President Uhuru. Remember that time they opened together with Raila Odinga? So this entire Green Park facility cost the NMS 200 million. And because it has to be maintained and they have to, do maintenance every day, they have come up with ways of raising money to do so. So they say that they will be charging fees for public toilets, for people who use toilets in that facility. And also there's a billboard. You can see that billboard there. Felix, you want to show them? Yeah, that billboard there, the advertising billboard. It's going to come in just a second. You're going to see it. So they're going to, yes, that one. They're going to be charging for people to put ads there. And also shops spaces at Green Park Terminus, and also stands. So that money is going to go towards maintaining Green Park. In case you're wondering how are they going to maintain it, because the NMS say that they will be running it. They're not going to be running it. They're not going to let Matatu Circles run that stage. So that's how it's going to be run. And it's a test because they say that they're going to come up with more stages like this to decongest the CBD. Let's talk about President Samia Suluhu of Tanzania. She's trending right now because she's in the country. There's developing so many things that are happening right now. In fact, get on Twitter. She's trending. She was received at State House by President Uhuru, and she is also expected to address Parliament. You can see a photo of the president and President Uhuru and Samia giving the Corona hug, or the Corona greeting. That's how they say hi to each other. Yeah, and also you should get on Twitter and see her female bodyguards. And now the Kenyan side, they have also given her female bodyguards as well. So yeah, it's quite interesting. And she's expected to also have a roundtable with business leaders in Kenya. It's a diplomatic affair, to ease in the relationship between Kenya and Tanzania, which hasn't been at its best. Remember, we got snapped by TZ, by Uganda. They passed their oil pipeline through Tanzania. Yeah, that's one of the things that I hope she can address and say why she snapped us. Well, the government of Uganda explained, but the Tanzania government is the one that benefited from that. Well, they benefited from that because it's not their project, it's the Ugandan project. It's a Ugandan government project, but Uganda snapped us. They said, your guys will charge us extremely expensive to pass our oil pipeline through your country. So they pass it on to Tanzania. Yeah. So it's a developing story. So many things. Whatever she's going to be doing is, it's going to keep happening. So that's something you can follow up on Kenyans.co.ke. Now, let's talk about politics today. And ODM has addressed the issue of its MPs disagreeing about the BBI. And the party communications director, Philip Etale, he put out this statement on Twitter, which I find a bit awkward, by the way, because it seems like it's typed from a phone. But anyway, it's still a communication. So he put out this statement saying that that ODM parliamentarians are only disagreeing on substantive issues in the BBI, but they will still pass it. And this is not an indication that the party is divided or it's collapsing, as many may have started to presume because of disagreements about the BBI. Say that if some of the members are unhappy with parts of the BBI, but the entire ODM team is going to pass the BBI, which is what's the point of disagreeing? If you guys are going to pass the thing at the end, what's the point of squabbles? It's just for, maybe intellectual discourse. I don't know. Meanwhile, on the Jubilee UDA side, so Jubilee Party, they have been actively seeking to cut ties with UDA, the Wheelbarrow Party. So this is because UDA wasn't exactly an original independent party. It was formed after the rebranding of a party called PDR, which was in a coalition agreement with the Jubilee Party. And yesterday, the Jubilee's National Management Committee met. They were trying to find a way to end their relationship with UDA. UDA is basically DP Ruto's backup plan if Jubilee fails. But the Management Committee of Jubilee Party could not agree on how to do it. This is because if they want to cut ties, there might be legal issues that will arise in that process. And UDA says they're willing to prolong that process because it benefits them when they're in that coalition with Jubilee, because they can make some demands while in it. But Jubilee is trying to entirely cut ties with them. But it's not going to go down that easy. There's a lot of legal issues surrounding it, and that's what Jubilee is trying to solve with its lawyers. Let's talk about other things that are happening that you need to know. So the government now wants to engage the private sector to come up with incentives and a legal framework that will pave the way for local manufacturing of drugs to treat TB, malaria, and ARVs for HIV. This is because Kenya over-relies on donors to be able to get drugs for malaria, HIV, and TB. And of course, remember, this is the backdrop of that dispute between KRA and USAID, which USAID donated ARVs, but then KRA wanted USAID to pay a 90 million tax for the drugs in the country. So yeah, the government is considering, if we can be able to manufacture these things ourselves, we will avoid relying on foreign donations to be able to do that. In fact, Mutahi Kagwe said that 80% of the health infrastructure that helps manage HIV in the country is entirely dependent on donations. Yeah, it's all foreign aid, mostly from USAID and the Global Fund that helps, donate drugs to fight HIV. So that's why they're trying to see if Kenya can manufacture the drugs locally. Now, this one is a story that flew under the radar for some reason. You probably haven't heard this anywhere, but former Mathare MP Stephen Kariuki, he's this guy. He's the son of Bishop Margaret Wanjiru. He's a former MP for Mathare. So he was arrested over the weekend because he was involved in demolitions in Kangemi. And the residents of Kangemi say that those demolitions were conducted without notice, and police arrived at the scene, and he was arrested because he said that the demolitions were not conducted in a proper way. Now, this last one here, train schedules, is for people of Syokimau, because this one got me thinking. It's actually funny because Kenya Railways, they stopped the train to Syokimau because Syokimau is in Machakos. And remember when the president put that lockdown, he locked down Machakos and Nairobi and Kajiado. So the train could not go to Syokimau and to Kitengela, but now those services have resumed. Of course, the train leaves at 5:30 in the morning, and so if you use that side, I'm not very sure how often you use a train, but apparently you guys haven't been having the train service because of the lockdown that just ended. I found that to be quite interesting. Yeah, but Kenya Railways has announced that that service has now resumed. So if you live in Syokimau, Kikuyu, Roiro, Athi River, and Embakasi, the train will now be available. So that's just an overview of what's happening today and stories that you need to know from what's trending today. Right now, State House is trending because of President Samia Suluhu, who's in Kenya. There's a couple of hashtags, regarding that trending right now. Kenya TZ Love and State House, and Samia Suluhu is also trending. JKA because of President Samia Suluhu. Of course, she came through JKIA, and that's why it's trending. Bill Gates is a big topic of conversation. I don't know how many of you were expecting that. I know he was shocking news. Yeah, so mostly other important things that are trending right now. Who is DJ Rambo, and why are people wishing him? Felix, you're laughing at me. Yeah, who is DJ Rambo? Felix, do you know DJ Rambo?
No idea.
Why are people wishing him a happy birthday?
Maybe it's his birthday.
Oh, sorry, that's not the right question. Yeah, okay, so DJ Rambo, I don't know who DJ Rambo is, but now I'm going to Google him. Yeah, he's trending on Twitter right now. Yeah, people are talking about him. Apparently, it's his birthday today. Yeah. Those are some of the things that are trending. So we're done with the speed feed. Speed feed minute is gonna come up after this. You find this to be so long. Yeah, with the speed feed minute for yesterday, I put it on TikTok and it got a lot of views, and I was very impressed. I was very impressed by TikTokers.